What is good, everybody? We're going to start it off and get into it. We have a special guest with here. I'm going to have her introduce herself first. Sarita, please introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. I am Sarita Jackson, and my Instagram is LawyerK04337. It's the name of Goddess of the Sun. And I present you the Google slide of the information about the murder case of XxTentacion.
Okay. Queen.
What's good, everyone? This is Queen Prodigy. Please feel free to follow me at Queen Prodigy on YouTube and on Twitter, as well as hitting me up on Instagram for your own personal readings or for any other formal communication at Queen Prodigy 0369.
And Chris.
We here, Nation. We here. Follow me on Instagram. That's Chris_A. That's the letter A-Y, the number 3.
Okay. Now, the one thing we want to definitely get into is some of Sarita's thoughts. Before we start off that part, I want to tell CommenterNation, I thank you for joining us. Thank you for rocking with us. Thank you for rocking with us yesterday. And as always, we have a treat here. And I'm going to allow Queen and Chris to ask questions. Commenters, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to put those questions right up here up front. Don't hesitate. We want to know different things, and we want to discuss it. So, Sarita, I'm going to let you start off with some of your thoughts and the different things you wanted to say.
Well, his sister allegedly said about it was an inside job, which is that possibly it is true that is the fact that she has said that was allegedly an inside job.
So,
what I heard from my perspective.
Okay, so from your perspective, what you're saying to me is that the alleged claims of the sister, Ari, in her, what she did, that you find some credibility in her when she said she thought it was an inside job done to cause some type of harm to XxTentacion. What would be some points of evidence you would use to back up this claim?
The trouble allegations that he had with this girl, and the some people he known from tattoo artists that they're from the suspects, but most likely it's come from the allegation of Geneva.
So you said it comes from the allegations of Geneva?
Yes.
Okay. So what were one of the things Geneva made allegations on?
That the ex had beat her and stick her with a pitchfork, and then not letting her go out anywhere to call any emergency for anybody to help. And that's what Geneva had started the room. That's how her allegedly claims that starts the rumors telling her friends that, and that goes all back to the family that has been heard from by her friends, and her friends telling the family. And then the money jealousy, I know for a fact that his proclaimed cousin, which is posted on Instagram, he was with him on the car when it's happened, and then afterwards. It's kind of weird that he left out the car for no reason, but I think that it could be a conspiracy.
So
why he left out the car.
So
the
person we saw running from the car was the uncle. Are you saying that that was actually the cousin?
I heard so many stories about it. It was news about it. So probably it was coming after it. Afterwards, it was saying about cousin. Am I mistaken?
Okay, so you're saying that it was a mix of situations. Do you believe, are you saying that potential editing could have changed the video for us to see the uncle running?
Yes.
Okay. But again, I want to say, even the uncle running, in that sense, that's not 1000%, because we really can't see the face of the person running. So for us to declare it the uncle, that is what has been dictated to us. That does not mean it's factual, because we seen a video and they did not do face matching, yet they were swift to match body types with the two people doing the shooting. I want to note that. Now, I want to ask this quickly to Queen and Chris, whichever one of you speak first. What exactly are your thoughts on the person we saw exiting the car?
Go ahead, Chris.
All right. My thoughts on the person exiting is exactly who it's who the stories point out that it should be, which is the step uncle allegedly. So, and not only that, also when you put that together with statements that were made by these alleged witnesses, they all point to a family member, and that also, you take that guy running, you put it, you match it with the clip that they publicly gave us, shown us in court, and it kind of matches up. The sandals, the dark jeans, the white tee.
Do you think the face matched that of the uncle's?
It did, but at the angle that they showed it on the surveillance, it looks slightly different, but that's because of the angle, so it's a little pixelated. But there's been other photos that people have shared or posted on IG where it actually shows the same guy with a white tee out in the distance from the vehicle when that happened.
What are your thoughts, Queen?
I'm going to base it off of different reports that I've been able to research myself. And I'm going to basically state that there was a documentation that was uploaded on Reddit, I believe. Yes, it was uploaded on Reddit. I'm sure I have that documentation somewhere that verifies that is the person that we speak of.
Okay. Now, I'll continue. What exactly is your thoughts going further, Sarita, as far as where you said the friends were telling the family?
There's money jealousy around, and then there's allegations around. Now, to this point, Cleo about taking back to the car, I'm really kind of thinking that she just really want the money back out of the car, because it was like, greenness, and it's something behind with the jealousy part of the family, and then obviously it was some around the allegation that they're trying to stop covering.
So you're alleging that Cleo wanted the car back for money in the car?
like she wanted her son's car, but something that has to do with money. Yes.
Okay, so how would that fit into the context, in your opinion, of the crime that occurred? Are you saying that she was aware of it or not?
I would say that she was kind of aware of it, but there's something of the other more suspect was with it.
So what does kind of
Like,
aware of something mean?
His cousin and the family.
So, but when you allude to this
She's
cousin,
partially being too.
so when you
I'm sorry, can you say that again? This is breaking up.
So when you allege of a cousin, you're referring to the light-skinned guy from Texas that said he was the cousin?
Yes, and that's what I saw his Instagram post, and I saw one photo of it after his deceased, after XxXTentacion's deceased. It was a picture of Florida suspect, which is Detrick Williams and Michael. There wasn't four, but it was two people, and that kind of like suspicious on whether he was part of it, and I feel like he was part of it because of the jealousy of it and the allegation of Geneva.
Now, I seen it was publicly stated by individuals such as Cleo is that was not the cousin, that he wasn't telling the truth. Since then, when was the last time he had on his IG that he was linking himself to being the cousin?
That was on June the 20th, 2018.
Okay, so since then, does he still have that up as being the cousin?
He still has it up being a cousin. He had made a second Instagram social media accounts. One that there was a lot of hates around people on his first Instagram when he first posted the two suspects, and then the other, it's been private, just like Cleo had her Instagram private an account, and then had her post the same way of XxTentacion's cousin.
So he never retracted the statement as being the cousin?
Um, no, I mean, what do you mean by it?
So he had it on his IG. So he's never come out and
I'm
say
trying to clarify that he had.
Are you there?
He come out and said that he was his cousin, and from your perspective, I'm here, and when you said that the statement clears out that Cleopatra said ex-cousin, he still referred it as his cousin for no given reason, and it still had his second Instagram account.
So okay, I hear what you're saying. Do you have any knowledge of any proof to directly indicate that, other than what he's shown or stated, that they may be related?
It may be related because I have a Google slide and one video that Michael Boatwright, he was the trigger of the gun. He was the trigger of the gun that killed X.
Allegedly.
He posted a live video on his Facebook, and he allegedly had posted a Facebook live and said it that the ex had did something to his cousin, and I'm trying to figure out who was his cousin, and that was like the part of it was directly towards the family of his.
So let me clarify this for you.
Cousin that Cleo stated that that's not his cousin.
Well, let me clarify it for you, your thoughts. So you're saying that the alleged trigger man, because he's not prosecuted yet, the alleged trigger man of the XxTentacion thing, he had posted something that directly linked that man you're declaring the cousin as the cousin.
He had exposed himself saying that he had, yes.
So he was verifying that that man indeed was a cousin.
No, not Michael Boatwright, but the other.
Right. It's Michael Boatwright.
Like the light skinned one that he claimed. And I feel like there's like, yes.
Okay, so Michael Boatwright posted something that pointed directly at this other guy as actually being related, is what you're saying. So with that said, and those thoughts, you believe that if he was indeed the cousin as he claimed, okay, what was odd was that he took a picture with a suspect, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So with that said, is that where you feel the alleged claims by Ari of an inside job? Do you believe that's what she was referring to?
Yes, I believe it was a job because it was a money jealousy and then the allegation from Geneva.
But here's where I need to ask you, how would you perceive to mention Cleo in it when she was receiving money and everything from her son? It's not that she even needed it. It was him treating his mother like a queen. Why would she be implicated?
Okay. Well, it was something around with the allegation and then the money issue from the family, and then goes through the cousin's friends.
Okay, so if we're going to talk about the friends,
That's attached to it.
the cousin, so all right, we're talking money. So that means Cleo is not a mention in this if I'm thinking of money, because this is someone she's receiving the money. I seen the post of gifts he was giving her prior to this. That's where my confusion lies with that. Now, I want to ask you this. Have you ever seen Genesis before?
Not till the day revealed her face since last year December.
Exactly. So that's why I'm asking you.
The news has started since.
Right. That's why I asked that. That's where my confusion comes in. Now, let me say this though. Now, when we talk about the word money,
there's.
Go ahead. No, I'm listening.
Okay. The money. Yes. I'm sorry. I'm just like trying to get to the understanding that I'm trying to make a case by them, but it's something that goes around with the jealousy of the money. When I say money, it's that the family has to got not her his mother, which I understand that he gave her gifts and everything. But it's like a transitioning start, then money and trading off. But some allegation was coming from other people's mouth, and that made it more like a suspect more than the four guys.
So, what are the allegations you speak of that you're alluding to by the family? And when you say you keep saying by the family, whose family?
Cleo, his sister, and then.
Okay, so Cleo and Ari are part of the name family that you when you say family, right?
Right.
So what are you saying that the family's claims towards, is this their claims towards the cousin, their claims towards friends around? Where are we talking about directly?
And directly go to the cousin, and I feel like it was just spreading over and things started controversing itself. But uh, um, about Janice, that I haven't known. About Janice, I haven't known. She said she met him on January, which anyone didn't know about it.
January of 2018.
January 2018.
Okay. So they met January 2018. Hold on. Now, were you aware of any music that had come out that was making fun of X or anything of that nature?
It's all started out that there was X was saying that he was never been in a relationship, and then Janice had said they started being together in January, which just means they're having some conflicts with it within that money issue.
Okay. Okay, so here's what I'm not understanding. I'm with it. I'm with everything you're talking about. But I need to understand, the only thing I'm not getting is the Cleo angle. Like, I could see if you were telling me the cousin, I need to know who was the cousin interacting with. Do you know of the cousin interacting with anyone around his family or friends other than the suspect?
Not sure.
Okay. So what this girl is saying is that cousin, she believes is the cousin, and that the claims against this cousin not being the cousin are false, that he actually is family and he was someone. Now, I'm going to say what I allegedly heard about this cousin. What I was allegedly told is that this person claiming to be the cousin had a falling out with Tentacion. Whenever this falling happened, it happened earlier. So let's say early or late, mid 2018. What happens is good is made between this cousin and X. And what X was doing was going to look for a dirt bike or some type of vehicle to support his cousin, to show his cousin love. But what happened in actuality was the scenario we're discussing. Now, my only trouble is that in this video, the video we seen was leveraged to only show an uncle running from the car. But my thoughts are, where's this cousin? Now, I've also seen that this cousin was being followed via Instagram by one of the suspects. That I will say I seen. Even if it's not then, I seen it with my own eyes. But again, I didn't say a lot. Not only that, I seen he was in a picture with this suspect he was being followed by. Okay? So we link you two together. The only thing would be the confirmation that he's actually a relative of this person. Been covered up. Sound wise, the audio expert sees what could have been covered up. That's what they do. Now, audio video. We have the third expert, forensic expert. I'm going to look at how the evidence is set up and see how it fits into what we're examining. I could see that. The only thing that throws me off slightly, but I see the credibility in the move, is the lawyer of Michael Boatwright in particular requesting 2 statements. So I'm trying to match the narrative given to me and figure out how it pans out. Sarita, why do you think Michael Boatwright is looking for these statements?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that question again?
Why do you think Michael Boatwright has requested 2 statements?
Because he wanted to get information from Cleo, and then it all started out pointing to the family members that he was trying to get into. That's what I know from my perspective. Which is the cousin, which is the proclaimed cousin that is going directly at it, not the mother. I know it figures out that the cousin.
Okay. I definitely see where you're going. I just think it falls short of. So Michael Boatwright's angle of the statements, he could probably delve deeper knowing the statements. But when we talk about money, the question is who's eating and who ain't eating. I see who wasn't eating, but I see who was eating. So that's why it's hard for me to look at family members as indications of any sort. But I do see where a cousin who's broke and wants to flash money, because the same individual, I saw him flashing money. One thing you know about X, he wasn't the type to flash money. I mean, even when he had, and that's how you know you got it. You ain't got to flash it because you got it. That's my only issue with that. You ain't got to flash it. Why am I going to sit up flashing it? Because I ain't got it. And there are a few around X who he rode with who doesn't flash money. They don't flash it. Even when they got it, they don't flash it. But the craziest part is in a few of the guys' music was like playing light, like hoes are hoes. But they made fun of the fact someone wanted hoes but flows. Like I see that stuff as more suspect than the money. The money could be an angle, but I see that stuff more suspect than I do 50 racks. I mean, let's be real. What is the chance between life in prison and 50 racks? Who's that dumb? That's where it kind of falls off to me, the logic. But I see what you're saying. Queen, what are your thoughts?
Pertaining to this situation?
What she said.
Okay. Well, first of all, again, it's about who's saying what? Is it true? Is it not? It's kind of having to kind of go based off of what is being um, given to us in the first place, with Soldier Joe claiming that he was a cousin or he knew some sort of situation that, and it's been confirmed via family that it was not, that's not the case. But here's the thing: he has a picture with Diedrich, right? So
It's not Soldier
I,
Dro. That it's not Soldier Dro. It is the dude from Texas. His name's not Soldier Dro.
what's his name?
I don't know his name, but it's the lights.
He was the light skin. He was the light skinned dude with the glasses, and he was wearing red.
Right. That's not
Okay.
Soldier Dro's the dude who the dark skinned dude who posed on the mixtape with the red mask.
Okay, got it. So his name has to be something else. I can't remember. It doesn't matter. Either way, that gentleman, he had a picture with Diedrich, and at the end of the day, clearly there has to be some sort of affiliation as far as working with one another, either in the rap industry or other criminal activities. Hey, allegedly. Let's just put that out there. But on top of that, too, I was also stating in the comments that I was kind of curious because Sarita was mentioning the fact that there may be some sort of relation with, Geneva regarding the situation as well, because Geneva has an ex in Texas. So that was kind of another connection that I thought maybe could be a thing, because it seems like there's not a lot of it's a small circle in this rap industry or even in gang related industries. So again, he could either be doing this for clout or he really knows people.
Okay, well now Lovely's saying you're correct that Soldier Dro was the light skin, but hold on, my thoughts were Soldier Dro and Soldier Kid were both in the same group, so I thought it was neither of them that she's referring to. So Soldier Dro is the name of the dude from Texas. Now remember, he's from nowhere around Soldier Kid though. He's not that has nothing to do with Soldier Kid unless he's part of the group, but he's from Texas. But Soldier Dro is in Texas, correct? If I could get a confirmation on that, I could get a call to figure out if that's true. Because if he's from Texas, he's around the Oink Oink Bang Bang gang. I know that. They know of him. If they know who that is. So I could figure that one out. But Soldier Dro was in a picture flashing money too. I saw that. But they didn't use that as a grounds to go look at him. I even saved your picture of you flashing cash because I was like, they didn't check serial numbers. How do I know the serial numbers checked on that money in your hand isn't it? And here's the difference. The one from Dietrich and them, that could have been from a previous time. His was recent. I saw that. I saw you flashing the cash recent. And yes, Queen, you are correct, Soldier Dro. My apologies. You are correct. Soldier Kid's who I'm thinking of. But I presume the soldier means they're in the same clique, right? I'm not sure. Are they clicked up? He's from a different state though. So I don't see how they'd be clicked up.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about that either. But the South kind of rock with the South, so
I guess it's different. You're right.
I'm sorry.
No, you're right. It's different.
Mm-hmm.
Chris, what do you think about that?
I think, his name is Soldier Dro. I've seen that he's out in Texas. I've seen when he made the claims of when he was allegedly ex's cousin. I've seen also the money flashing like you. You've seen it. I've seen even Diedrich make a statement or a comment on that of him flashing the money. So yeah, if you ask me, the pictures, everything is all there. They're all connected. They're all from the same gang. Hence the soldiers. The name soldiers, and as far as him truly being ex's cousin, that there hasn't been any real facts besides him saying it.
Right.
Besides him saying there has not been any facts, and it's just odd how it all came out. And even when he proclaimed being the cousin, he didn't say anything to where anybody would have raised an eye. It was more like it was more to where I lost a cousin, and those were the statements that I seen that he made. It was more like a more of a people need to have a little bit more like sympathy without him saying it like that.
Let me ask this real quick, and this is before Sarita. I'll let you continue. Lovely Tashay TV. How do you know Soldier Kid didn't do it? How do you know that for a fact? I'm just curious about that. What basis, other than people saying it and him saying it, what proof is there to exclude him? Because I never got that. I hear you.
About Soldier Kid,
I'm listening.
I'm sorry. About Soldier Kid, he was saying on a video where he had published a live stream Instagram. He said he never met him. It was all of it was just that some kind of a letter he was like writing to, but he didn't even know who his ex was. That's why Soldier Kid didn't know he wasn't. He was a kid. He was 18.
But he
didn't know who the rapper was.
But he was a few blocks away down the street, so it couldn't have happened. Remember, they didn't catch these guys till weeks later, going on a manhunt. He was just a few blocks down the street eating chicken and fries. Is there a video showing this? No. Is there a video showing him down the street eating chicken and fries? Here's why I say this. Because if I did, say someone said, Czarr just shot 4 people, and then he ran out the back with a bag of money. And I was like, nah, I was down the street at Long John Silver. You would have to have me on video or a timestamp of purchase. Where they have a picture, where can we see it? Where can we see this picture?
On YouTube. I unnecessarily do not have a picture of Soldier Kid has a gun with him while he has going to a restaurant place an hour block to find a shot where X had killed. I have not had that information. Only thing I know is that it was directly on the family.
So you're telling me,
I'm agreeing with you, Czarr. I really agree.
I'm sorry, if I could comment really quick. Pertaining to the Soldier Kid situation, I believe I've seen something posted on YouTube to where they had, I believe, some sort of like map screenshot of where he was at the time. At this funny enough, at X's favorite, one of X's favorite restaurants was back in the day, which had a fishing grill or something like that type of place that was not too far away from the crime scene itself. And that's what people were justifying why he had something to do with that. They were also stating that Soldier Kid was sending texts to Trippie Redd. I don't know how true this is, trying to figure out where he was located at the time. I don't know how true this is, trying to
excuse me,
figure out where
I'm setting up my other
at the time.
I had to fix something real quick. Fix the volumes. Yeah, so okay. I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. So, all right. So he has a receipt, the photo and video of him not being there. Why was that never concluded publicly? The same way they dragged up the men's face on the screen. Or else you're telling me that someone had to tell that these three men were involved, or four. Someone that's the only conclusion, because all the evidence that came out pointed that direction. Even to the point following that, there were men getting up on a live claiming to have done it. Is that normal? So if a murder happens and I hop up on my YouTube, that's me. That's me. I did that.
At the end of the day, regardless of if it's true or not, I feel like it's extremely disrespectful, and it's disheartening that people have to do so much to gain some sort of notoriety for someone who, you know, lost their lives, and there are millions of people who are hurting and trying to look for answers, and all it's doing is creating more problems and possibly throwing the investigation off, because one minute you're hearing that, you know, these men had red masks, and then the next thing you know they didn't, and one person is saying it happened instantaneously and another person is saying, you know, something else. So that's the situation when you're dealing with the media, is that they create a complete ridiculous monkey circus to throw people off, to keep them in hysteria over something that touched so many souls around the world.
The one thing I want to say, though, in the same token, and this is to you, Sarita, I don't see a reasoning or a motive for a close family member, such as someone, if anything, get this, I see someone jealous of her having created a seed, looking to cause issue for her. It could have been a past revenge for her. It could have been someone that doesn't like her. Then I would understand. I'd say someone hates her so much that they wanted to go after her son. I could see that. But because when we start talking about money, and that's my mom. Mom Dukes is good. If she needs anything, I got her. And that's the type of person we're talking about. You know what I mean? So the reason I'm mentioning this other stuff, there's too many other people that need examined before we start going after family in that way, especially being the little people around. And when I say family, I'm not including extended family. Even extended family needs looked at. But when we talk about direct family, that's a little weird. And here's why I'm saying this. I do have direct knowledge about someone that was picked up the end of 2018 that alluded to someone pillow talking. I know that. They got quiet on it. That's why. Why do you think experts were confirmed? Why do you think they let him come out and say, I want to see statements? There was someone pillow talking. Okay? And oddly enough, it was a man running, bumping his gums in bed with a slag. Okay? I know that much. And this slag got picked up and no bail. That happened in 2018. So I know why experts are dragged in. I know why it's quiet. But I don't know other dynamics. So I need people to get out the frame of mind, like, you know, but I'm just questioning, because whoever was employed and on the job, the slag knows, and she bumped her gums because she's still going to get deported. She still probably get deported, but she talked. Why? Listen, and those of you who hate me can co-sign this. Why did they stop accepting information and calls down there. Oh, we don't need it. We know they know what they need to know. It's just a matter of proving it. They know. They don't need the other stuff. They know. They don't need anybody's feedback. What I do here is simply for us to understand the dynamics. I'm racing them to the pop. That's what I'm doing. I'm racing them to it is what it is. That's my thing. I understand. I just don't know the dynamics of the direct evidence they have. So here, let me introduce this angle. We think these suspects, through their lawyers, are asking to see certain things and for certain things strictly for these suspects. No, they're asking it potentially because of what is known by prosecution. You see, certain things can't be requested unless it's requested on a certain end of defense or prosecution. If you're prosecution, you're not going to request that one of your witnesses gets interrogated fully so you lose a witness. If you're a defendant, you're not going to throw your suspect on the stand, let him get bombarded and admit his guilt if you're trying to fight the less in his time. It's a certain way it works. I see how it's playing. And from back knowledge I already had, I can presume certain things. That is why I mentioned that if we're going to accuse other people, we have to know. See, I didn't know Soldier Kid was acquitted in a way of evidence. I seen him come out and say publicly, I didn't do it. I didn't hear about him being interrogated. That I did not hear. But what confuses me most is how I can just pull up on one of the suspects' grandma's car in the midst of an investigation and find everything I'm looking for. That's confusing, because if you didn't check there first, you weren't doing what you were supposed to do. You weren't. If you didn't look there before you ran taxpayer money on a manhunt, you didn't do what you were supposed to do. I'm also curious about where they found the people. Found one of the suspects in Georgia, found the other suspect in New York. Coincidence? Found the third suspect, caught right away. Another guy already in jail. It was too easy. When you go on a manhunt, okay, if there was a real person, if I'm a real criminal, you ain't gonna find me just like that. Forget that. If I really did a crime, you ain't just pulling up on me. You're gonna have to search for me. You're gonna really have to search for me, which makes me think that there was some level of intel they had to find out. If these guys went and did their crime, I know it's hard for you guys to, because if you didn't see the new movie, and I'm trying to think of the name. What was that freaking movie? I just said it a second ago. There's a new movie out, and it has to do with the world in a state of post-extraterrestrial attack. And it's at a level where extraterrestrials are communicating with humans, even to the point extraterrestrials are deemed the legislature, okay? And the community is the people interacting. Now, where I'm getting at with this, the way the humans doing their policing job brought down the infrastructure of terrorists who are truly just fighting against the invasion throughout the state, being used by the legislature, now extraterrestrials. The way they got them was by using the classifieds. So one guy smart enough, huh?
Semenci says it's Blade Runner.
No, this is a movie that just came out this Friday. Let me see.
A movie or a documentary?
No, it's a movie. I just left the theater for it. Freak. Hold on. You got to know what I'm talking about. Hold on, because this movie was good, and I've seen so many things. I could watch it again, and see something totally different. I've seen so many things. There's so much symbolism in it too. Hold on.
Is it captive state?
Yes. Captive State just came out. Tough, Chris. Captive State. That movie was fire. That movie was fire. And it's only fire if you begin to see what you're watching. The way they brought down the group known as Phoenix, they called them, it was very specific. They found a runner that was basically part of the society and part of this group. And he was affiliated by blood because his brother was a major leader amongst it. So what happened was they figured out a way throughout the movie. A lot of stuff happens, but they get his brother and use that as leverage for him to go do his job, but the counter operative for them. So here's what I'm trying to say. The best way I can see this working out, the same criminals used to do the dirt are the same ones leveraged to capture the problem. You get me? So the experts, you got them asking for state. It's not coincidence. They know something. And instead of going in, snatching you up, you getting out with a lawyer because they know they need the evidence to prove it because they can't double jeopardy you. They figured a way around it. And that would be them using experts to derive information. So that's what's important. Sarita has something she got to handle. We're gonna talk to her again sometime in the future, but I'm gonna look at some questions and I'm gonna say, yes, but you got to understand when there's mafia involved, it also can involve officials of the law. Some of them are linked by blood. That's what you got to understand.
Why is it that there's aspects of, okay, I'll say it like this. There's aspects of the law, there's also aspects of gang activity, and also dealing with the music industry as well.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, I could care less what anyone else has to say. When someone is in a predicament to where they feel like their life is being threatened, and they publicly say something about people that they are having confrontations with, and they do video of specific confrontations that went down, and basically saying, hey, y'all better watch out for these people if they do something to me. Why is it that we're not taking this man's word seriously?
That, in my mind, it's not that I'm not taking their word seriously. What proof other do I have than the situation? That's like someone, that's like someone coming out and saying the government's responsible for poisoning the water when it was a 45-year-old scientist who came with 2 vials and poured them into the water stream.
And was that scientist actually paid by government officials or not, or a non-for-profit organization?
But that's exactly what I'm saying. I need proof of that transaction.
Okay.
In order for me to accuse them.
So here's the thing. The only problem that I seem to be having with this is that